everybody? I'm Noah from PhoneDog.com, and I've got your MacWorld 2009 preview right here. Now, if you're a gadget hound, a cell phone hound, all that kind of stuff, you know, two trade shows overlapping once again this year to kick off 2009 and to kick off the winter trade show season, which for electronics and cell phones, you got CES and MacWorld, you've got Winter NAMM, which is the music show with a lot of music tech stuff. You've got Mobile World Congress in Barcelona. You've got CTA in Las Vegas. All kinds of shows in the winter and spring season. Starts off with CES and MacWorld. They overlap once again this year. I will be at MacWorld in San Francisco this coming week, starting Monday, January 5th. Our own Joni, who will be covering the show for Let's Talk, but does stuff for PhoneDog as well, will be getting her CES coverage live from Las Vegas on PhoneDog this week also. So we got you covered. MacWorld in San Francisco, CES in Las Vegas, both shows, all your coverage right on PhoneDog.com, so stay tuned on the website and here on the video channel for that. Now, as far as MacWorld goes, it's going to be an interesting show this year for a couple of reasons. First off, and you probably already know this, first off, Steve Jobs will not be doing the keynote this year. Steve Jobs, Apple CEO, has always done the Apple keynote. He's a great showman. You know, he has this way, they call it the reality distortion field, where he has this way when you're in the room watching him speak, making you think that, you know, well, he could sell ice in the winter, as my dad liked to say. He will not be doing the keynote this year, however. Phil Schiller, another Apple exec, will be doing it. Lots of rumors that maybe Steve Jobs is going to step down. Schiller in line maybe to take over. I don't know about all that, but that's what's going on. Also, this is last year. Apple will be participating in Macworld. They don't actually put the show on. It's put on by a third-party company. Apple has always been the cornerstone exhibitor. No more. Looks like they're going to be doing just their own special media events that they do throughout the year, which will give them a little more freedom to announce products whenever they want, that kind of stuff. Anyway, that being said, lots of Apple rumors, of course, kicking around about what new products they might have on tap. A couple relating to the mobile phone world. We'll run down here real quick. One is that Apple is rumored to be expanding their Mobileme suite of services to include their iWork and possibly iMovie applications. So basically, they've got this Mobileme thing, which is push email, access to documents on the go through your iPhone, mobile syncing between your phone and your desktop, calendar, all that kind of stuff. Rumors kicking around that they may be doing something involving iWork, which is their Office suite, and iMovie, and putting those desktop applications in the cloud, so to speak, with internet features. Exactly how this will play into using the iPhone through Mobileme and that kind of stuff, I don't know. Remains to be seen. Possibly, you know, easy publishing straight through Apple of iMovie stuff to be watched portably, you know, on the go on your iPhone. We'll have to see about that. Second rumor surrounds a possible iPhone Nano. Now, this rumor has been kicking around for as long as iPhone rumors have been kicking around. There have been some images on the web you've probably seen already in the past couple of weeks about purported iPhone Nano cases. Some silicon case, mock-ups and photos coming out of an Asian manufacturer, and then Vaha, who's a legitimate, you know, a known maker of iPhone and iPod cases. They've got a product now up on their site that's an iPhone Nano case. So between that and some other, you know, the typical rumors coming out of websites and analysts and stuff, supply chains, this and that kind of thing, rumors kicking around about a possible iPhone Nano. I would love for it to come true. I don't think it will. And the reason is basically that an iPhone Nano, if it is smaller and it is cheaper, you're going to have to give something up. And I think just because it's smaller, you would have to give up App Store access. I don't see how an App Store full of software that's designed for the iPhone and iPod Touch platform with those physical screen sizes and resolution, I don't really know how you're going to get that stuff to run on a smaller device with a smaller screen, smaller res, without huge headaches and confusion for consumers. Apple is great at making things so easy for the consumer that you can't help yourself but buy stuff from them. That's their bread and butter. That's what they do. That's why people pay more for Apple products, or, you know, it's perceived as being more anyway, because of their design, their style, and how tightly integrated the whole consumer experience is. And so the App Store has been a huge success. They sold millions of dollars worth of apps over the holiday season just now alone, and I don't think they're really going to want to do anything to undermine that. So I think if there was an iPhone Nano, it would have to be excluded from the App Store. It could be stripped down, and basically you could just get your phone and your media player capabilities, you know, no App Store access, perhaps, you know, web browsing and email. It's hard to imagine a phone without those things, so I don't know quite how they would do that. It's possible. I would love to see it happen. Love to see another phone. Love to get another phone to review. More options for the consumer is always good. But I kind of don't see it happening. The second thing is that there have been rumors about the iPhone Nano possibly they could sell it cheaper because it would lack 3G. AT&T has already said, they said way back in April at CTIA, that all their phones going forward are going to be 3G compatible, or at least all their smartphones, but I think they said all their phones. Also, report just came out this weekend that AT&T is downgrading their Edge network in order to put more resources into making their 3G network even bigger and badder and faster and everything else. And there are kind of anecdotal reports coming in across the web that owners of older Edge-only phones are experiencing service problems, and when they complain to AT&T, they're basically told, well, dude, you got to get with the times, upgrade to a 3G phone, everything will be better. So if that's the case, there simply wouldn't be a new Apple phone, an iPhone Nano, that didn't have 3G unless it wasn't on AT&T. I could be wrong, but I don't see it happening. The final little piece of news is I've got it from a couple of sources, one inside of AT&T, telling me don't expect anything new from Apple on AT&T until June. That makes sense. The original iPhone, it was announced at Macworld in January a couple of years ago, of 2007. Didn't ship until June. iPhone 3G came out this past June, 2008. It would make sense that in June of 2009, we would see the next big iPhone update. Again, I would love to see something. I think they could definitely bump the memory up anyway. 16 and 32 gig iPhones, and then 32 and 64 gig iPod Touches. Definitely not out of the question. The chips apparently are there from Toshiba. One 16 gig chip in the iPhone, one 32 gig chip in the iPhone, two of them in the iPod Touch. That could definitely happen. I would love to see that at Macworld. And, you never know. Apple, all these companies have their product lines all set up years in advance. They have to in order to research and develop and test and market and all that stuff. And so really, I'm sure if they've got other iPhone models ready to go if they want to do it. So we'll just have to wait and see. Whatever it is, it's going to be interesting. It's going to be exciting. Hopefully we'll get a cameo from Steve Jobs. Hopefully we'll get some cool new products. And whatever they are, I'll be there in person. Macworld 2009 in San Francisco. The show officially starts Monday, January 5th. There's some press events that night that I'll be covering for PhoneDog and Gadget Dog. And then Tuesday, the 6th, in the morning Pacific time, the keynote. I'll be there live, bringing you all the coverage, whatever it is. You got it right here. PhoneDog, your source. And like I said, we'll have CES coverage too. So till then, I'm Noah from PhoneDog, and stay tuned. Should be an exciting winter.